Our Earth isn't just home to serene wonders. It also has roads built with both courage and fear. These are strips of asphalt, clinging precariously to sheer cliffs, or rotting tracks stretching across abysses, where just a moment of carelessness can turn your journey of discovery into a journey of no return. In these harsh locations, beauty isn't found in peace, but in the overwhelming power of nature against human efforts to survive. Are you brave enough to face your primal fear and see the planet from its most dangerous points? Get ready, because right now, we're about to embark on a journey to conquer the most dangerous roads and railways in the world, where beauty was made to challenge adventurous souls. Death Railway, Thailand. In stark contrast to the lights of Bangkok, Kanchanaburi greets you with a haunting steel monster called the Death Railway. Built hastily by Imperial Japan starting in 1942, this 415-kilometer project carries a cruel curse. Every railroad tie cost a human life. Tied to that tragedy is the bridge on the River Kwai, a chilling witness that inspired the classic film of the same name, which won 7 Academy Awards. Here, the train runs on a narrow wooden floor, right on the edge of a ravine, dozens of meters deep, with absolutely no barriers. On one side is a sheer cliff, on the other, a raging river. The danger isn't just in its tragic history, but is also present in reality. In 2022, a tourist died after falling into the ravine while trying to take a photo at this spot. If you're brave enough to face your fear of heights and the spiritual haunting, this is a location you must visit once in your lifetime. Prepare yourself mentally before setting foot in this legendary land. Mount Hua, China. Located in Shanxi Province, China, the Mount Hua Trail is the most vivid definition of adventure, with its terrifying Changkong Plank Road. Over 700 years ago, a Taoist priest named He Ijen carved this path by hand to find a place for spiritual cultivation. Known as the Bridge to the Otherworld, the path is really just rough wooden planks, less than 30 centimeters wide, hammered directly into a sheer cliff face at an altitude of over 2,150 meters. The only thing for you to cling to are cold iron chains. Although you're now required to use a safety harness when crossing this area, the instinctive fear is always present, especially after the shocking incident in 2018, when someone unclipped their harness and threw themselves into the abyss. If you're brave enough to make it across, your reward is a peaceful tea house nestled among the clouds. Sipping a refined cup of tea after just escaping the Grim Reaper's scythe is surely the most unforgettable experience of a lifetime. Are you ready to conquer this peak? D915 Bayburt Pass, Turkey. If death had a specific address, it would probably be somewhere on the D915 Pass in Turkey. This pass has surpassed all other tough competitors to top the list of the world's most dangerous roads. At an altitude of 2,035 meters, the Derabasha section appears like a gash on the side of the Pontic Mountains, with 29 hairpin turns stacked on top of each other like a compressed spring. Many sections are so narrow they can only fit one vehicle, forcing you to drive on instinct as fog reduces visibility to under 2 meters. Built in 1916, D915 has no asphalt or guardrails. The crushed car wrecks in the valley below, and the constant threat of rock slides are a stark warning to anyone who lets their guard down. Even so, D915 holds a powerful attraction for thrill seekers. Here, all your senses will be pushed to their absolute limit. If you crave a challenge to your very core, D915 is the top choice. But make sure you have nerves of steel before you go. Passage du Gois, France. Connecting the island of Noirmoutier to mainland France, the Passage du Gois is one of the strangest and most dangerous roads on the planet. This 4.12-kilometer cobblestone causeway only appears twice a day at low tide, like the spine of a whale emerging from the mud. However, when the tide comes in, the entire causeway disappears completely under up to 4 meters of water. The incredibly fast-rising water and the slippery stone surface are the main threats. The 1999 Tour de France race left a mark with the terrifying Gois nightmare. A massive pileup of cyclists occurred because the road surface was too muddy and difficult to control. Lining the road are tall rescue poles, a testament to the fierceness of nature. Every year, the ocean still swallows dozens of cars whose owners were overconfident and tried to race the tide. The Passage du Gois challenges you with a real adrenaline-fueled race. If you're just 1 minute late, you might have to abandon your car and climb a rescue pole to save your life. Tren a las Nubes, Argentina. There is a journey where the line between earth and sky is separated only by a train car window. Welcome to Tren a las Nubes, the train to the clouds. Located in Salta, Argentina, Tren a las Nubes is a proud engineering marvel in the Andes. The train takes you to a record altitude of 4,220 meters, making it feel like you're flying in the void. The most dramatic point is the 63-meter-high La Polveria Viaduct. The train rolls over a curved steel span with absolutely no guardrails, making anyone who looks down into the ravine hold their breath in fear. This place also has a silent killer: altitude sickness. It's very easy to get dizzy or faint due to the thin air, so every train must have medical staff on standby. Even though it had a derailment incident in 2014, its appeal hasn't diminished. The feeling of sipping wine in a surreal space and listening to the train whistle echo off the cliffs is a one-of-a-kind experience that everyone should try. Floating Bridge, China. Do you have the nerve to drive when the ground beneath you is not stable but constantly moves with every wave, challenging all laws of gravity and human resolve? If the answer is yes, welcome to the Shiziguan Floating Bridge. Located in Lion's Gate Gorge in Hubei, the bridge is a dream of gliding on water, winding gracefully over an emerald river. It's 500 meters long and 4.5 meters wide, connecting the two sides of the gorge with a modern system of polyethylene floating pontoons. However, behind this scenic beauty lies the unpredictable danger of gravitational instability. Every time a car's wheels pass over, the bridge deck dips, creating a strong, resonant vibration that can easily disorient the driver. Built in 2016, this is a marvel that allows tourists to travel through the gorge without harming the landscape. But the 2023 tragedy, when a car plunged into the river, killing 5 people, served as a costly warning. But why should you still visit at least once in your life? It's to face the fear of resonance and test your courage. Try driving amidst the vibrating bridge sections to capture the soul of Lion's Gate Gorge with your own eyes. Minamiaso Railway, Japan. Nestled in the heart of the Aso caldera in Kumamoto, the Minamiaso Railway is an enchanting but also chilling experience for many. Only 17.7 kilometers long, the route sends shivers down your spine as it directly confronts a volcano on one of the most unstable fault zones on the planet. The most dramatic point is the 60-meter-high Tateno Iron Bridge, which spans the deep gorge of the Kuranda River. Danger is always lurking, as Mount Aso is still highly active and can erupt with ash and toxic gases at any moment. You'll be admiring the gentle cherry blossoms while nervously aware that you're sitting on a geological time bomb. Born in 1928, the Minamiaso has become a symbol of the Japanese spirit of revival. After the devastating earthquake in 2016, the rails were bent like spaghetti, and the infrastructure was completely wiped out. This is a dramatic journey past geological ghosts, where the line between beauty and destruction is razor thin. Do you have the courage to embark on this special train ride? Glenfinnan Viaduct, Scotland. You are standing on an engineering gamble from the 19th century, where Atlantic gales are always waiting to blow away anything standing in the middle of the Highlands Valley. Welcome to the Glenfinnan Viaduct, the world's largest unreinforced concrete masterpiece. With 21 curving arches stretching 380 meters, the danger of Glenfinnan lies in its century-old structure. The track on the bridge is very narrow and sits right on the edge of a deep ravine. This beauty is both magnificent and overwhelming for passengers. Though made world famous by the Harry Potter film series, this place still hides dangers from strong wind gusts and landslides if you risk taking photos on the edge of the bridge, which has no railings. Legends of human and horse bodies buried within the concrete mass add to Glenfinnan's mystique. If you long to step into a magical world full of challenges, are you ready to face the chilling grandeur of this place? Nariz del Diablo, Ecuador. Deep in Ecuador's majestic Andes, the Nariz del Diablo, or Devil's Nose, stands as a harsh challenge. This is a unique zigzag railway section, where the train must make a sudden descent from 2,347 meters to 1,812 meters on a steep cliff face. The project was completed in 1902 at a terrible cost. Over 2,500 workers died from disease and dynamite explosions. Legend says the devil cursed this place, and the winding tracks alongside the Shanshan River are haunting scars on the devil's face. After an accident in 2007, passengers are no longer allowed to ride on the roof of the train. However, the feeling of sitting inside the violently shaking car is still enough to give you chills. The sound of the wind howling through the mountain pass, combined with the sections where the train runs in reverse, will paralyze your senses. If you dare to face the devil's bargain, this is the journey for you. Prepare yourself for a one-of-a-kind thrill. Rohtang Pass, India. Nestled in the majestic Pir Panjal Range, Rohtang Pass is the gateway connecting the Kulu Valley with the remote Lahaul region. In ancient Tibetan, Rohtang has a gruesome meaning: field of corpses, referring to the thousands who lost their lives to blizzards and exhaustion here. At an altitude of 3,978 meters, the 51-kilometer road appears like a giant serpent amidst the snowy mountains. The road surface is bumpy and uneven, covered in slippery mud and icy waterfalls cascading directly from the cliffs. Some sections are so narrow they can barely fit a truck, while one side is a barrier-free abyss. Despite frequent reinforcement, the road is always on the verge of being wiped out by terrifying landslides. The rusted car wrecks at the bottom of the ravine are proof of Rohtang Pass's extreme danger. If you're unlucky, you could even get stuck for 24 hours in a state of severe oxygen deprivation. However, its violent beauty and the suffocating feeling as the wheels graze the cliff's edge are a mesmerizing challenge. Rohtang is definitely not for the faint of heart, but it's a dream for every adventurous spirit. Nanga Parbat, Pakistan. Before you decide to touch Nanga Parbat, remember this is not a peak to be conquered, but a giant white cemetery. Located in Pakistan, with an elevation of 8,126 meters, Nanga Parbat is the 9th highest mountain in the world, nicknamed the Killer Mountain. There are no man-made trails. The only way to the summit is via iron hooks hammered into the 4,600-meter-high Rupal face, the tallest rock wall on the planet. Here, the oxygen level is so low that the human body begins to break down. Blizzards can tear through the space at speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour. Behind its majestic appearance, like a throne of fire at dawn, lies a haunting death rate. For every 4 people who successfully summit, 1 will be left behind forever. The history of this place is also tied to the legend of Herman Boole. He was said to have aged 20 years after just one night of standing on one foot, clinging to a cliff face to survive. Nanga Parbat challenges you with absolute brutality. This is not a regular tour, but a pilgrimage to find the true value of life. Hangzhou Bay Bridge, China. Imagine you're driving on a delicate S-shaped ribbon, where the horizon ahead and the abyss below merge into one. That's the breathtaking experience of setting foot on the Hangzhou Bay Bridge. Located on the eastern coast of China, the bridge is a testament to humanity's effort to conquer nature. At 36 kilometers long, it connects Jiaxing and Ningbo, crossing the second strongest tidal bore in the world. The danger here comes from Category 12 super typhoons and sudden salt fog that can wipe out your visibility in an instant. On the bridge deck, the line between life and death is incredibly thin. A single loss of control is enough to send your car plunging into the swift ocean currents, where the chance of survival is almost zero. The biggest challenge waiting for you is the overwhelming anxiety of being surrounded by nothing but seawater for dozens of kilometers. Come and witness the magnificent window on the sea, where you can feel how small you are against the power of the ocean roaring right beneath your feet. Drakensberg Traverse, South Africa. Stretching between South Africa and Lesotho, the Drakensberg Traverse is nicknamed the Wall of Spears. With an average elevation of 3,000 meters, this 220-kilometer journey is the most treacherous hiking trail in Africa. Right from the starting point, you're faced with 90-degree vertical iron chain ladders clinging precariously to the challenging Sentinel Peak. In some parts, the path is just a narrow ledge less than 50 centimeters wide, next to an abyss hundreds of meters deep with no visible trail. Despite its mythical beauty, The Dragon's Mountain hides dangers like thick fog that can easily cause a misstep, and the highest density of lightning strikes in the world. On average, up to 3 people die here each year. The Drakensberg Traverse challenges you with absolute solitude amidst sudden thunderstorms and snowfall. If you long to walk on the edge of the world to conquer yourself, are you ready to face the dragon's teeth? Kuranda Scenic Railway, Australia. Cutting through the heart of the Barren Gorge rainforest, the Kuranda Scenic Railway is not just a tourist trip, but a confrontation with wild nature. This 37-kilometer route is a marvel from 1886, built by over 1,500 workers to save isolated miners from starvation. From sea level, the train climbs a steep grade to an altitude of 328 meters. It winds like a giant python through 15 hand-dug tunnels and 37 slender steel bridges. The most dramatic point is the Stony Creek Falls curve. Here, the train travels suspended on a unique V-shaped bridge, where a waterfall crashes right next to the window, and the edge of the ravine is just centimeters from the wheels. The risk of rock slides is always present, threatening to swallow the tracks at any time. A serious derailment in 2010 is a testament to this danger. The Kuranda Scenic Railway challenges human smallness in the face of creation. But in return, you'll witness some of the most majestic landscapes in the world that no book can fully describe. Easter Island, Chile. Isolated in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, Easter Island, Rapa Nui, is 3,700 kilometers from mainland Chile. The challenge here isn't deadly curves, but a terrifying isolation. Any medical assistance is at least a 5-hour flight away. Viewed from above, this 163.6 square kilometer island looks like a stone ship drifting aimlessly. It's the ancient construction site of the Rapa Nui people, with nearly 1,000 giant moai statues weighing up to 80 tons. Legend says the Moai could walk on their own, but in reality, it was a dangerous rope maneuvering technique where one small mistake could crush a person. The danger is also present in modern accidents, like the pickup truck that smashed a sacred statue to pieces in 2020. Easter Island challenges brave hearts to venture into the depths of solitude, where you must confront an ancient curse and the smallness of humanity before the ocean. This is a journey to find your own limits that you must experience once in your lifetime. Guoliang Tunnel, China. Do you dare to drive into a stone corridor with no guardrails, where on your left is a rigid mountain wall and on your right is a 200-meter deep abyss waiting for you? If the answer is yes, welcome to the Guoliang Tunnel, located in the Taihang Mountains. Created in 1972, this is the work of 13 men from Guoliang village. They used hand hammers and chisels for years to break free from the isolation of the deadly Sky Ladder. The road is 1.2 kilometers long, 5 meters high, and a mere 4 meters wide, just enough for 2 small cars to pass each other by a hair's breadth. The most haunting feature is the 35 stone windows carved out to the 200 meters deep abyss, completely without guardrails. A single slip of the steering wheel, and nothingness will swallow you whole. Although it has become a famous tourist spot, danger still exists through collisions with the rock walls and frequent landslides. What about you? Do you dare to drive on this stone corridor suspended between heaven and earth to feel the fragile line between life and death? Skipper's Canyon, New Zealand. "25 kilometers from Queenstown, Skipper's Canyon is a steep gorge carved out by the ferocious Shotover River. Hand-built with dynamite starting in 1883 to serve the gold rush, the road is a testament to the recklessness of the miners of the past. With many sections just 2 meters wide and completely without guardrails, driving here is a direct confrontation with death. On one side, a cliff juts out right next to your side view mirror. On the other, a bottomless abyss, all while the road surface is covered in loose gravel. The most terrifying spot is the 91-meter-high Skipper's Bridge, which often trembles in strong winds. The danger is so extreme that New Zealand insurance companies will immediately void your policy if your car sets wheel here. No phone signal, no rescue services, only your survival instinct kicking in as your tires grind over the loose rock. Conquering Skipper's Canyon will bring a glorious, awakening experience, challenging every limit of your courage. Kawah Ijen, Indonesia. Located in East Java, Indonesia, the Kawah Ijen volcano is known as the mystical Blue Hell. At an altitude of 2,799 meters, this place has the world's largest acidic lake, with a pH level of approximately 0.5, enough to corrode anything in an instant. To reach this beauty, you must traverse a jagged path of sharp rocks on the edge of a cliff, where one misstep will lead you straight down into the 200-meter-deep acid lake. The real challenge lies in the thick clouds of sulfur dioxide gas. As night falls, Ijen becomes surreal, with blue flames up to 5 meters high, shooting out from cracks in the rock. This has been the path of livelihood for miners since the 1960s, who carry up to 90 kilograms of sulfur on their shoulders every day amidst toxic fumes. The brutality of Ijen is ever present, evidenced by the death of a tourist who fell into the crater in 2024. Kawah Ijen challenges you with an incredible sense of suffocation, but it also inspires admiration for the lives struggling to survive in the heart of hell. When your feet are just inches from the blue flames, you will experience the most memorable test of courage in your life. Door to Hell, Turkmenistan. Are you brave enough to stand on the edge of a giant, barrier-free furnace where the smell of methane is overwhelming and the limestone structure is extremely unstable? Come to the Door to Hell, located in the heart of the Karakum Desert. This site is the result of a technical error by Soviet engineers in 1971. A drilling rig collapsed a cavern, creating a massive pocket of methane gas, forcing them to light it on fire to prevent the toxic fumes from spreading. They expected the fire to die out in a few weeks, but it has been burning brightly for over half a century. Today, the giant crater is 70 meters wide and 30 meters deep, with temperatures at its center reaching 400 degrees Celsius. Explorer George Kourounis had to wear a heat-reflective aluminum suit to survive his descent to the bottom. The extreme danger is also right at the crater's edge, which is made of very loose sand and limestone. One small slip is all it takes for you to fall into hell at any moment. The Turkmenistan government is looking for ways to close this gas crater in the near future, so come and see this eternal beacon before it disappears forever. Kahekili Highway, USA. Along the northwest coast of Maui, the Kahekili Highway appears like a nightmare with the beauty of paradise. This 32-kilometer strip of asphalt winds like a rusty chain hugging the slopes of the West Maui volcano. The extreme danger lies in the incredibly narrow road, with many sections only wide enough for one lane, but still serving two-way traffic. Notably, the entire route has absolutely no guardrails or streetlights for protection. The real mental game begins when two cars meet at a blind corner. At that point, you're forced to reverse for hundreds of meters right on the edge of a 60-meter deep cliff. Paved in the 1900s and named after King Kahekili II, this road is tied to the belief that his spirit still guards the cliffs. The rusted car wrecks at the bottom of the ravine are proof of the punishment for the careless. Most insurance companies will void their policies when your car drives here. But despite all the risks, do you dare to challenge the curse of the tattooed king to conquer Hawaii's wildest road? Ma Pi Leng Pass, Vietnam. Imagine you're driving on a sheer cliff, with an abyss beneath your wheels and a giant stone dragon hiding right in front of you. This isn't an action movie scene at all. You're on the Ma Pi Leng Pass in Hangzhou, Vietnam. Perched on the Happiness Road at an altitude of 1,200 meters, this 20-kilometer-long pass is nicknamed Horse's Nose Bridge. It refers to a slope so terrifying that even a horse would run out of breath. The extreme danger lies in the suffocating hairpin turns, right next to an 800-meter deep abyss that drops down to the Tusan Canyon and the No Key River. This is also the deepest canyon in Southeast Asia. This road was built from 1959 to 1965 by tens of thousands of youth volunteers. They used to hang themselves from the cliffs with coffins placed nearby, always ready to sacrifice themselves to break the rock and open a road for their country. Ma Pi Leng not only challenges your driving skills, but also invites you to touch a tragic legend, a place where blood and flowers truly bloomed on grey stone. Bernina Express, Switzerland. Connecting Switzerland and Italy, the Bernina Express is like a dance of steel on a frozen mountain wall. This 122-kilometer-long route defies all laws of physics, descending slopes of up to 7% without the need for a cogwheel system. Viewed from above, the bright red train looks like a thread sewing the mountains together. The entire journey winds through 196 bridges and 55 tunnels carved through rock. The most dramatic point is the Brusio Spiral Viaduct, where the train makes a 360-degree turn to descend, making you hold your breath as you see the front and back of the train almost touch over the abyss. The line was built starting in 1906 by thousands of brave workers who faced death from avalanches and rock slides. An incident at Val d'Esplendor in 2017 is a testament to a near tragedy. The challenge for you is the extreme contrast of emotions. You can be sipping luxury wine, but you're only separated from death by a thin pane of glass. Magic Roundabout, UK. Located in Swindon, England, the Magic Roundabout is a challenging traffic maze. There are no abysses or blizzards. Instead, it tests a driver's intellect with its strange structure, created in 1972. 5 small roundabouts surrounding one giant central one. Traffic here weaves in and out in a paradoxical way. The central circle runs counterclockwise, while the 5 outer ones run clockwise. The terror of this roundabout lies in the immense psychological pressure, which can easily cause information overload. Just 1 second of hesitation amidst dozens of turn signals, and you'll get trapped in the mesmerizing vortex. Although the speed is always kept below 20 kilometers per hour for safety, this place is still a nightmare that makes many tourists give up. Its confusing structure can even paralyze GPS apps at times. If you're clear-headed enough to escape this real-life maze in the heart of England, the Magic Roundabout is the ultimate test of your will and spirit of conquest. Moki Dugway, Utah, USA. Located on Utah State Route 261, the Moki Dugway looks like a dramatically broken rope ladder. Just 4.8 kilometers long, this zigzagging dirt road drops suddenly by 365 meters, with an average grade of 11%. Death awaits at the consecutive 180-degree hairpin turns on a slippery, loose gravel surface with absolutely no guardrails. Here, just a moment's lapse in concentration is enough to send you plummeting straight into the deep ravine. Built in the 1950s to transport uranium ore, the road is a marvel of human engineering, carved directly into an ancient cliff face. Legend has it that the spirits of the Anasazi people still whisper warnings to strangers. The challenge at Moki Dugway isn't just about expert brake control, but also about maintaining composure in the face of nature. Avoiding a catastrophic plunge off the cliff requires absolute focus on every meter of the road. This is a hair-raising experience even for the most seasoned drivers. Are you brave enough to test yourself on this dramatic dirt road? Bamboo Train, Cambodia. In Battambang, Cambodia, the bamboo train, Nori, is a dramatic railway experience. This train is actually just a 4-meter-long bamboo platform, crudely placed on 2 steel wheel sets salvaged from war scrap. With absolutely no roof or seatbelts, the train speeds along at 50 kilometers per hour on rusty steel tracks from the colonial era. Every joint in the track is a violent jolt, threatening to throw you to the ground if you don't hold on tight. This mode of transport emerged in the 1980s as a way for locals to survive after the Khmer Rouge period. The most interesting part is the right-of-way culture. When 2 trains meet head-on, the one with fewer passengers has to completely disassemble their vehicle, lift it off the track to let the other pass, and then reassemble it. Despite the risk of derailment, the bamboo train still attracts travelers with its extreme wildness. You'll get to see the steel rails bend and twist like snakes under the weight of the bamboo platform. From the deadly turns of Skipper's Canyon to the eternal fire of the door to hell, each route is an epic tale of human courage and the will to conquer. Are you ready to add your name to this breathtaking journey? Or which location made you tremble the most? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next heart-stopping adventures. See you again.